Well, welcome back, solo founders. In this video, we're going to cover off, we're going to build a CRM. Yeah, we're going to disrupt $1 billion business and create our own CRM. So why do we need other CRMs when I can actually tailor it to my own needs? And if you've seen other videos, I love building my own apps because I have a sort of a much more personalized approach to how I engage and conduct marketing and go to market or demand gen. Now, let's just look at this something. So we're going to build a CRM. The process that we're going to take, and we're going to make it live as well, of course, So we're going to research sort of the best CRMs, what the features are, especially for a solo founder that's only wants to read something really light. I'm going to call this like the minimal viable CRM because then I can continue to refine and build onto my CRM that I'm going to build for myself. The other one is what is important when you're instructing a vibe coding app such as Base 44 or Lovable or Google AI Studio, which we're going to use today. You need to really define the use cases, specifically what the cases that you as a founder, depending on your value proposition and depending on your sector, enterprise for the mid market versus small businesses, it's going to slightly change in terms of your the features that you want to the use cases that you want to see in a CRM. By the way, if I haven't done this already, CRM is basically a customer relationship and management system. I should have said it in the beginning. Basically, a CRM is a way for you to manage your clients or prospects or your contacts in a database. It's a bit of using spreadsheets to follow up, to do tasks around it, to look at pipeline, seeing how you're going to close for the month. Are you hitting targets, which is so important especially if you're a solo founder that is VC backed. You want to actually produce some reports and you want to track your progress in terms of how many you've contacted, how many are in a opportunity stage, how many are in a close win, and so forth. So it's important for you to look at your contacts and how you manage those contacts. Is a CRM helps you manage that, essentially. And there are sophisticated ones, and I will go through a little quickly. So basically, use cases, and then we're going to look at, okay, now I've got the use cases. I'm going to create user stories. Basically, for me, user stories are where I think as a solo founder, I need as a minimum viable product for a CRM. These are the features that I need to get up and running. And then going forward, I can actually add new, go back and amend that, change that, add new features and so forth. And we're going to use like ChatGPT or Gemini to do that. And the last thing is actually build it and launch it. Okay. So, but just some context. If you typed in CRM, let's go just broad CRM providers, right? So this is Trustpilot. There are like over 2,000 types of CRM, and you can see here some of them are really focused on particular verticals. Some have particular good like sort of top of funnel, like bookings, like pipeline, versus others are more large scale, sort of HubSpot and if you've got enterprise, big enterprise, you've got Salesforce, right? So but you can see here that a lot of CRM or relationship, even very specific ones for industry. So this is a job ad. It's a CRM. It's not a CRM. It's actually an all-encompassing CRM for recruiters that can post ads, get candidates, and so forth. So very specific, and that's why I meant if I go back to this user stories, what are the user stories that you need? When I say user stories, user should be able to create a contact. User able to create a user should be able to create a calendar invite, or create a reminder, and so forth, right? So that's what I meant by that. So there's a lot of out there that, but depending on your, we're going to go generic, a little bit generic, because we want to build a minimal viable, see how it works, and then start refining. If you're a particular vertical, if you're in recruitment or you're in fintech, then you add new features to your CRM. But the beauty about sort of vibe coding and using platforms like Google AI Studio or Base 44, there are many of them, right? Or Lovable, you can do that on the fly, and you can do that really fast to get those user specs to production. Now, so I've got a simple prompt, all right? So I'm going to paste in a simple prompt. Hang on a second, I'm just going to minimize this a little bit. We've got a simple prompt, and all I'm going to say is if I'm going to go to ChatGPT here, and I'm just going to put in this, right? If I was building a minimal viable for solo, so what are news stories? And let's run this, okay? I'm going to start with getting the business requirements, which I'm going to take and paste it into my vibe coding app, which in this case would be a Google AI Studio. So these are the minimal viable products. So user seeker, as a solo founder, I want to be able to see my pipeline. I want to drag things. I want to. This is amazing. This is right. Tasks. So basically, it's pipeline. Task, which I talked about, right? Task, following up on. So what if I had a meeting with a client and I can follow up quickly on that? Notes, and so if I had a meeting that I know that this client likes, I don't know, chocolate ice cream, I'm going to say, hey, let's catch up for a chocolate ice cream, or if they don't like coffee but they like tea, I can actually put that into my my memory and my notes. Calendar, not surprised, but basically you want to be able to see, receive contacts, and so this is pretty good. Reporting, simple confidence. As a user, I want to know how much of my pipeline, which I talked about, right? How much I'm closing this month. So this is really good. These are really, and I actually pasted the same thing in also in comment as well, and I got the same results, same prompt, right? So now I've got my prompt. Let's go with I mean, we can pick any one, but let's just pick this one here, the Google. Let me just compare it actually. Organize our relationship, pipeline deals, follow-up reminders, communication, lightweight sanity check, sync to emails, communication flow. Does it have calendar? Yeah, solar calendar. There we go. Constraints around software. CRM one email calendar may be reached. So this one, ChatGPT had specific. Calendar. See and send, receive per contact calls. I can add that too as well. Anyway, does it matter? Because we're going to build this, so I'm going to just quickly go into both of them are great. I'm going to just copy this. Okay, so I'm copying all this news stories from creating my minimal viable product. I'm going to go now and into my Google AI Studio and literally paste that in. I'm going to remove that. Now, what I'm going to do also, but I want my branding. So put in branding requirements. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it. My branding requirements are going to be, I'm going to just focus on just having it, this branding requirements, so align with my brand, right? I mean, this could be your branding, okay? So, but you need to specify very in detail also the requirements that you want from a branding perspective. So now I'm going to paste in my branding for my site. So that's what it is. So nothing spectacular so far. Let's build it and see what happens. So when this, I don't know how long it takes, but typically it's really fast. You can tell when it's fast when it starts building those HTML. There we go, already started, and you will see different areas being built. Sort of your like your task area, your pipeline is building in and out. This is your developer, so you're instructing it to do so. Yeah, so once this is built, we're going to play around, publish it, and then we're going to go and actually create a subdomain. So in my case, I'm going to create a subdomain, I don't know, something like CRM, so I can, when I start doing any prospecting, I can actually add to my CRM quickly. I don't have to worry about logins at this stage, but again, the minimal viable product, you don't have to worry about these sort of stuff. Solo flow, I like that. Solo flow. Solo flow, CRM, yeah, it's good. A good name. There it is, solo flow. I like when So now it's building all those components. Right, there we are. So I'm telling you that typically how it happens is great. Once it's all been built, we'll play around and test it. And if it's storing information, now most likely I need to like sort of something like a Firebase to create like a storage for specific. You can see here for prototyping, it's perfect. Backed by Google. It's all one place this Fireplace is actually you got like a studio where you can actually go in and prompt it, so it helps you and build that if you wanted to. But there's a lot of tools out there with Gemini and ChatGPT. You can actually get support. Just ask it, prompt it, and so forth. Now let's go back to this. Let's see if it's finished or not. So where are we? It's still churning. It's found some errors. It's fixing its own errors. Yeah. So once this is finished, I'm gonna play around. As I said, I'm gonna launch it so we can test it, and then once I do that, once this is done, I will create. Here we go. Allow. There we are. There we are. So let's play around with it. So I'm gonna add in. Oh, perfect. It's got some. I got my pipeline. So I can drag things, I think. Let me see, can I drag? Yeah, I can drag. Perfect, it's like one of the requirements. So, and then I got on my dashboard, I can tell me where it is. So let's just put an example. I've got a new contact, John James Smith. No, Smith. And Smith Co. CEO. Smith. James. So let's just make it easier. Smith.com. I can tag it, so I can say ISP. Okay. So there's my, and now I can add my notes. I got my contact details. I got my notes. Likes ice cream and black coffee. Let's see what. Okay. So now, oh, cool! It's got integrated AI, so you can I can actually once this is built, I can create follow-ups. Yeah, AI. There we go. It's created. Look, successful initiated a report. Say settlement. Interact with positive casual. Oh, it gives me some tips. So it's actually built in, you can imagine here for HubSpot it has Breeze, it's like AI co-pilots, few co-pilots. There's one for sales and that's called Prospect, I think, and does a lot of this sort of stuff. Now I've got my list. Now let's create. Oh, good. See, I can attach a deal to this. So if let me see, this is working or not. When I click on it, it's not working. I don't know what's happening. This is where you go back and prompt it. But should be able to. Let me go back here. I can't. Why can't I do my deals? And I got my notes. And let me see. And I can click onto this, but doesn't allow me. See, this is where you go. Can you ensure if I click? Go back to pipeline. No, that contacts here. New deal that the function works. Let's quickly quickly put that in. So far so good. It's got my dashboard, it's got my how many clients I've got, and this is all you need for my you can start building, and you can see here I'm fixing some of the bugs that are, but send proposals. I can create a quick summary task. Really good, right? In the last 7 days, I can actually start into, and if I want to do sophisticated, I can put a like a webhook to other integration or applications on the fly as well. So as this is creating, let me see how this is done. it will refresh. I'm going to pause and then come back and see what it's finished, so we can actually then deploy it. For 26 seconds it did it. So let's refresh this. Hopefully it can actually do this. Allow. Okay, so let's go into the contacts. It removes my. Okay, let's just try that again. James Smith, because I didn't publish it, by the way, you remember. Come on, CEO. James Smith. It doesn't make a difference. I'm gonna put an ISP because I've got the role there, but I can change all this stuff, right? So now I've got my thing. I'm gonna create a deal. There we go. Partnership. And let's just say 5,000. I was going to follow this. It's great source, because then I can report on how I can, when I know the source, I can actually say, tell me what's the biggest channel that I can invest in further. So let's just say LinkedIn. Okay, create a deal. Now this should, in my pipeline, there they are. So I'm gonna this is a partnership. I'm gonna move over, yes, and this dashboard will show me deals. There's 2 deals happening. Very good. And I want to see tasks. It's a good overview of, I've got 3 leads, 2 deals. So now I can prompt it, the value pipeline, which is perfect, right? It's updated that. You can see here, right down to close, win, and this is the pipeline that you will be achieving. So you know how many deals you have in lead versus qualified versus you send out the proposals and you won that. And you can create tasks around this, and you can see in my dashboard, I quickly see as a minimal how many clients I have, what's my pipeline, have I won anything, what are some of the key tasks I need to complete. I can publish this, right? Boom. I just disrupted $1 billion business sector, and I've created my own. And that's why you have, and remember, like I told you, you can personalize this to your own use cases, to your own sector. So if, in the example we saw with Job Adder, they really focus on adding new features that are applicable for their vertical. What I mean by vertical is that they, you can think about it like recruitment. Vertical would be posting ads, managing resumes, managing submissions, and so forth. Okay, so that's how. Let me publish this. It's published already. So boom. Okay, so now there is a live site. So now I did promise I'm going to connect this now. So now you can see here, this is the solo. I'm going to actually create a subdomain to it. I'm going to add, so you just create that, because I already host on Google Cloud. What I'm going to do is now go into my mapping, and I'll find it here. So if I go here, I'm going to map it and create so if I go into solo, maybe I should say CRM, it's easier. It's got a lot here. Usually it's the bottom. There we go. Okay. Actually, I did another one. I should have showed that one. It's because I was playing around with other ideas and stuff. So, and what I'm going to link it to is this domain, and I'm going to call it CRM, so I can find it, right? So now, this is how you create your subdomain. So you can have a whole product suite around it for your services. So you just copy this, and you go into, in my case, your register. In my case, it's name. And this is where I'll add in my, go down here, it's a name, and it's CRM, and put in, sometimes it doesn't, so if you leave this, by definition, if you got like this, in add, it will say error, say invalid, so you got to remove that, even though it's pasted in. Okay, so let me see, my CRM has been added, my CNAME. Now, if I go back to my domain, I said done. It should see it here. Let me refresh. And it takes, I don't know, there it is. Okay, so it takes, it will take, I don't know, from 10 to half an hour for it to propagate. and we're done. So now instead of me going to this long, that's the news cases that we, where is it? No, that's my website. Here we go. So again, this URL, I'll just have to go into I'll just have to go into GTM Sprint. I'm gonna go back here. CRM, and I can access my CRM. Now, I can actually add in login details, like a Google Connect, so I can only verify me. But this is an example. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Look at the branding is mine, and I can start managing it. I can now go to prospects. I don't need to, Now, it's a minimal viable product. I can either continue to refine and build this out, and make backups. I recommend making a backup. So if you had to go back and say, hey, I didn't like that change, you can do that, okay? Or I said, this is great, but I want a full scale, CRM with other more bells and whistles, and I go into something like HubSpot. And HubSpot has free CRM for founders, solo founders, with limited function. But for now, you've got one place to manage it, but beyond spreadsheets, right? I can quickly see my contacts. I think it's amazing that I can do this in this day and age. All right, there you are. Okay, we just disrupted our business as solo founders. If you have a particular idea or an app that you need to improve your productivity as a solo founder, you can use vibe coding apps to disrupt before you actually invest any money. Create your minimal viable, create your solution. Build it out and start learning how you use it. Then you can be more informed when you do, purchase a licensed product or whatever license that at least you've done your due diligence. You know what you want in a CRM. Because like I said, if you go back to Trustpilot, there's over 2,000 types of CRM. For you to work out what to make an investment on any of those CRM, you want to make sure you have the right use cases that suitable for your own business. Alternatively, like I said, you can continue to build out your own CRM, which I just did, right? For now, that works well. Okay, well, that's it. Hopefully you found that really insightful. Please like, subscribe, and make a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Bye.